Your Honor, she has went as far as, like, saying the child had a crooked penis. And I have a crooked penis. So she said...
All I have to say is I hope nobody brought an exhibit.
Man, she put some type of voodoo on me or something, Your Honor.
And so you had sex with Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Unprotected sex?
Yes.
After meeting her on a dating site?
Yes.
And meeting for the first time?
Yes.
You all know you wrong.
Ms. Wikia Stokely says she knew all her life about the possibility of Mr. Tucker being her father.
Well, as long as I could remember, I always heard about Mr. Tucker. I always heard that it was a possibility that another guy might be my father. Even before I knew what a possibility was, this how long ago this was. All my life, I heard about this guy.
Mr. Tucker says he never knew about it and only saw Miss Wikia this one time.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes?
I don't know about that. I really don't.
You never knew anything about it?
No. Only saw Wakil since she was 8 years old, and that was it.
Now, on to the evidence. Ms. Wikia says this is the reason she's certain he's her father.
And we bumped into this guy, and this guy looked down over top of me and looked me in my face and said, "Do you know who I am? My name Willie." And I said, "How, Mr. Willie?" And he said, "No, tell her who I am." And then he asked my mom, "Do I need some money?" And he gave me money. And that was the last time I seen Mr. Tucker until last year. I moved to a new neighborhood, and I bumped into this guy. I felt I knew him from somewhere.
For Ms. Candace Tucker, Mr. Tucker's daughter, this is her piece of evidence.
Do you believe that Miss Stokely is your sister?
No, because my dad, he loved his children, and if he had a possible child, I'm quite sure he would have said, "This is your sister," and we would have been a family.
I'm sorry, did you say why did she wait or he wait?
Why did your mom wait that long?
Or him?
Ms. Wikia's mother, Ms. Stokely, shares why she has doubts regarding her daughter's paternity.
I was living with my ex-boyfriend at the time, and I wasn't sure. I got stuck in a snowstorm with Mr. Tucker.
Okay.
And I had sex with both males, but I don't know if I went in the snowstorm pregnant. I got pregnant in the snowstorm.
Or if you came out of the snowstorm pregnant.
I'm not sure. Yes, Your Honor. I'm not sure how I went in.
Okay, but the bottom line is that's when you were with Mr. Tucker.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Lauren looks up the alleged snowstorm date, which is the root cause of this paternity hearing, and things seem to match up.
Now, there it is. It says Philadelphia blizzard of 1993, the worst snowstorm in years, the 6th largest snowfall in the county. Snowstorm shut city down from March 12th to March 15th.
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is going to help us determine whether or not Mr. Tucker is truly a possible biological father for Wikia. Wikia, when is your birthday?
December the 2nd, 1993.
December the 2nd, 1993. Put in your birth date into this conception calculator and push calculate. The window of conception would be March 12th to March 18th.
For Ms. Stokely, she believes Mr. Tucker knew all along Ms. Wikia is his daughter, but refused to acknowledge her.
After I had Wikia, we all live in the same neighborhood. I seen Mr. Tucker many a times.
So why not just tell him?
I would see him like in passing, because like I said, he would come to my neighborhood, I would go to his neighborhood, I saw an auntie live on his block. His sisters, they would say to me, "Where my niece at? Where my little niece at? Where my niece at?"
His family members would say, "Where my little niece at?"
Mr. Tucker says he didn't know because she never told him.
No, Your Honor, her mom, her friends, everybody in her neighborhood, when I be going to work, they was like, "Willie, Zakia, you know that." Wakia. That's the problem. I don't know them like
He
that.
really do.
No, I
He really do.
Listen,
make his
look
sister.
at my daughter. I know Candace Tucker. You understand? And her mom and all them see me in traffic in the street. They be like, "Willie, you got a daughter." I don't know what to believe because she didn't tell me.
Judge Lauren couldn't help but crack up because of this.
Mr. Tucker, I gotta ask the same question of you.
Yes.
Once your aunts, your family members, your mother, Willie, there's this little girl, Willie,
Man,
there's
they
this
don't know nothing about them.
But no,
My
no,
family,
you just said that they said to you,
I'm
Willie.
talking about her family.
Oh,
Her
okay.
family. Let's get it right.
Okay, so hold on.
Let's get it right. Her family. When I be going to work, minding my business, her family run up on me. Hey, Willie, you got a baby?
Wait, Mr. Tucker. Let me get it right. Let me get it right, honey. I love that statement, though, because that's something I would say. Let me get it right. Let me get it right. And you say, get it right. No, I do want to get it right.
This case ends on a happy note, despite all the presentation of weird evidence, as the DNA test result proves that
In the case of Stokely versus Tucker, when it comes to 23-year-old Waikia Stokely,
Yes.
it has been determined by this court. Mr. Tucker, you are the father.
in this case of a heartbreaker and a loyal man, Judge Lauren deduces that Mr. Carr wants to save Ms. Villa from her promiscuous way.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell the court why.
Your Honor, because her nickname is Heartbreaker.
What does that
From the
have anything to
beginning
do with
of the
Trinity?
relationships that we had together, she was a liar, a cheater, and no good for nothing, just to be honest.
But you still stayed with me.
Ms. Villa is straightforward in her testimony about the relationship.
How did the relationship start for you?
He hit me up on Facebook, and it went from a one-night stand to us having a kid.
Wow. That is a huge jump, Jerome. A jump with a capital J.
Here's what Mr. Carr claims as a piece of evidence to support his doubt.
The times of conception. The times of conception was she slept with a man on the 31st of January.
Tony,
Me and
she
her
was-
slept together on February the 14th. 3 days later, the 17th, she tells me that she's pregnant. I'm like, how are you pregnant?
Tony, you're a liar.
If we just slept together on the 14th, then how did you know that you're pregnant? How in the world do you know that you're pregnant?
You told me I was
So
pregnant.
you
You're a
have
liar.
sex 3 days later and she tells you, now I'm pregnant.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you thinking like, how do you know you pregnant 3 days after we just have sex?
Exactly, Your Honor.
Tell us some more lies, Tony. Keep going.
Mr. Carr provides a detailed exhibit of his evidence that Ms. Villa has been running from taking a paternity test for 3 years.
I was in Alabama. She was in Tampa, Florida. I tried to hook the cases together. As soon as she received the letter, she moves from Tampa, Florida to Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
You were told I was moving.
From Muscle Shoals, Alabama, she moves to Decatur, Alabama. That's when we stayed together for the little bit that we did. From Decatur, Alabama, she moves from Decatur to Chicago, Illinois.
And I opened cases each time then. You're wrong,
Each
Tony.
time she opened the case, I believe she purposely spelled my name incorrectly because she
I went
had
back
one
to
of my
Decatur
work
to make sure he
badges
was a
on
father
her
to
each
his
and
kids.
every time. Anyways, from Chicago, Illinois, she moved from Chicago, Illinois to Nashville, Tennessee. From Nashville to Rogersville, Alabama. From Rogersville, Alabama, she moves to Russellville, Alabama. From Russellville, Alabama, she moves back to Decatur, Alabama.
Judge Lauren couldn't help but comment on this as Mr. Carr concludes the exhibit presentation.
These are a lot of moves.
Yes, it is. But each time I moved, it was to get him to be around the kid.
Ms. Villa's best friend, Ms. McDonald, gives her testimony to back up her friend's claims, but this turns into chaos as she, Ms. Villa, and Mr. Carr begin to exchange words.
A couple of times she's complained to me that he has not been wanting it.
He doesn't want
You
to go on
mean
the
wanting to
child
get the
support.
DNA test?
Yes.
I don't mind child support. Why would you put me on child support if I'm supporting my child already?
You help with diapers here and there. I've
If
been
you
doing
don't
it
want me
since day
part
one,
of
Tony,
Trinity's
so don't
life,
try
then
that.
just say so.
Tony,
Don't
you've
try
been
that.
coming around
I
lately.
learned from my grandmother.
Not
to
for the
feed-
past 3
well,
years.
I learned from a
You
family
have been
member.
coming around
Let's
lately
get to
because
order.
Why? Because she keeps moving and people get tired of reaching out. Here.
No,
here.
Tony,
She
What
has
do you
reached
expect
out to
somebody
you
do?
plenty of
Bow
times.
down so we get crazy.
Let's get some order.
At the end of it all, the DNA test result shows that
In the case of Carr versus Villa, when it comes to 3-year-old Trinity Villa, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Carr, you are the father. That's your beautiful little girl.
this case is confusing from the start, as Mr. Burridge says he wants to be a good guy. Hence the reason he signed the birth certificate of a child he doubts is his.
I'm a good guy. I want to be a good guy and do the right thing by signing the birth certificate, because on my birth certificate, my father didn't sign my name.
At the point that you signed the birth certificate, did you have doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you did it anyway?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by doing so that you would now be the legal father of this child?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's the way the court would acknowledge you.
Yes,
You
Your Honor.
are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you don't believe you're the biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Burridge explains that Ms. Stephanie tried to trap him in their relationship, but Ms. Stephanie counters it.
I didn't think we were in a relationship, but I thought it was more because I knew that my intentions was to make it more than what it was.
But you knew I had another girl, and you also said this to me, pillow talking, like you gonna try to take me away from my girl. You know what I'm saying? Trying to set me up, trying to trap me.
Oh.
That was, no.
So wait, you think she was trying to trap you?
Yes, Your Honor, because, you know, with my ex-girlfriend, I was good. She had a son. I took care of him. So she seen how I was, you know, taking care of them. She wanted that for herself.
No, the reason that attracted me to him, I did like the way that he embraced my children. You know, me and him wasn't even initially talking at first. You know, he embraced my children. He bought things over for them. So I was attracted by that. It wasn't me trying to steal him away from his girlfriend. He chose, Mr. Barrage chose to be with me.
And this is where the doubt stems from.
And you immediately begin to doubt?
Yes, Your Honor, because I didn't know how many guys she slept with. You know, guys coming out the blue in the neighborhood where I stay, just come out the blue. I hit that, 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 I hit that.
He can't keep going off what other people say, and he's going off what other people saying. Ask him, does he know anything that's for sure?
Mr. Burridge presents this weird exhibit as evidence to back up his doubt.
For one, Your Honor, I don't have light blue, green, hazel eyes, Your Honor. So that's for one.
The other guy has light eyes.
Yes, Your Honor. And for one, Your Honor,
Me and my
I'm
mom
brown
both
skinned, Your
have
Honor.
light brown eyes.
Hey, the guy got light-skinned complexion, Your Honor.
Ms. Stephanie claims it's all a lie.
Really? Did that happen, Miss Stephens?
Your Honor, I did go to the party. People say a lot of things. I don't like being around the other guy because I don't want to give nobody anything to come back and tell Mr. Barrage. Nothing, no words were exchanged. The guy asked me to take him to the store, and that's pretty much all that was said.
Here are more weird reasons Mr. Burridge believes to prove that the baby isn't his.
My generation, I can go back on my generation. My family's a close in that family all the way to like 1874. And like far as our genetic code, everybody, we got big eyes, big nose, big lips. You know, that baby got light eyes, little nose, little. I know the
Phelan
baby.
is not only from you, Mr. Barrage. She's my child also. She can have my genes.
Well, the baby don't look nothing like you.
The case takes another shocking turn as both parties make some huge confessions.
I feel like a sucker, Your Honor, because I had a bad past. I done had several women, you know, before her, and she didn't have several men. And I didn't try to judge that against her, but I'm steady hearing. And it just put back in my head.
It's a bag up what he said. My mother or my biological mother or father didn't raise me. I was a foster child. My biological mom wasn't in my life, nor my father. I didn't meet him till I was 12. And ain't no telling if that's my biological father. Why would I put my children through that? Phelan is my 5th child. I'm pregnant again by Mr. Barrage. And what, to go through the same thing? I'm 5 months pregnant as we speak now.
She trapped me, Your Honor. She trapped me with this one.
Mr. Burridge still insists the child isn't his and says he would doubt the one on the way if he's proven right.
I'm gonna want a paternity test for that one. I'm gonna be really hurt if she ain't mine, you know? I'm gonna feel like that one ain't mine either.
After all has been said, the DNA test proves that...
In the case of Barrage versus Stephens, when it comes to 8-month-old Phelan Barrage, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Barrage, you are her father.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're very emotional, Miss Steffens. Is it?
I tell him all the time, misery loves company. Of course, don't nobody want to see you happy.
Mr. Taylor and Ms. Orr give different accounts regarding getting a paternity test done.
I have tried to get a DNA test from the moment I found out about Eric, and she has denied it, dodged it every which way she can. Like, she's argued with me, said that he looks just like me. Why would I need DNA?
Ms. Orr, are you trying to avoid the DNA test for Eric?
No, Your Honor. I believe that Michael, if he wants a DNA test, he needs to get it done, not me. It's not my job.
And here's how the child whose paternity is in question was conceived.
And so you had sex with Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Unprotected sex?
Yes.
After meeting on a dating site?
Yes.
And meeting for the first time?
Yes.
You all know you wrong.
I had sex with her for like that week, and I had sex with her a couple more times the next week. And then...
He kept coming back. We done slept with each other maybe more than 10 times.
No, Your Honor.
10 times in 2
That's when I found out I was pregnant.
No, Your Honor.
Was Mr. Taylor the only man you were intimate with, Ms. Orr?
There's other men, but at the time, Mr. Taylor was the only one that I slept with when I was off my birth control.
This confession from Mr. Taylor causes Judge Lauren to make this hilarious statement.
She told me it was mine, yes, but I did not agree to them terms, no, because I myself knew of 3 other different possibilities.
No, there's no other 3.
It's conception, not a contract. Jerome, he said he did not agree to those terms, okay?
Okay.
Judge Lauren also says this to Ms. Orr's testimony.
Because the nurses was talking to me at the time. I couldn't really talk to my family members.
The nurses were talking to you for a week straight?
Telling me everything, pretty much.
I don't know if she testifying right now or testifying, but we'll see in a minute.
Mr. Taylor presents this piece of evidence to support his claims.
This one says, little surprise for who didn't know, met my son Eric for the first time tonight, so blessed. Keep negativity to yourself. And this
Your
is
Honor.
you holding baby Eric. And then the next one you say, father like son, with a heart. And you're holding the baby.
Right, Your Honor, that was on her Facebook.
And then the next one says, love my son. First time me feeding him. So, Mr. Taylor, I will say this. The posts you put on Facebook, they looked like you do want to be a part of this child's life.
And there's more.
Your Honor, she has went as far as like saying the child had a crooked penis. And I have a crooked penis. She asked me if I had one. I said yes. She said, so how can you deny that this is your son? So she said,
all I have to
there
say is
any
I hope
denying
nobody
that?
brought an exhibit.
Finally, the DNA test results are in, and this happens.
In the case of Taylor versus Orr, when it comes to 6-week-old Eric Orr, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Taylor, you are not the father.